That's right. It'll be Kyrie.
Look at this. He gets ahead of it. Just 1-2. He even moves a little bit. He knows it's a big deal.
Entering the Western Conference Finals, Mavericks guard Kyrie Irving had a 14-0 record in playoff closeout games before the Mavericks fell to the Timberwolves in Game 4 of the Western Conference Finals. It was the best in NBA playoff history.
I feel like we put one foot in front of the other, day at a time, and we accomplished part of our goal, and feels great.
Kyrie has racked up countless accomplishments during his career, from All-Star game appearances to an NBA title. Few hold the weight of one of his most impressive records, however. Over his 15 closeout games, Irving has averaged 22.7 points, 4.5 assists, and 3.7 rebounds per game, which closely aligns with his overall postseason averages. Among players to play at least 10 closeout games in their career, Irving has the best winning percentage in such matchups in league history. Kyrie stands in pretty exclusive company among the list of closeout game connoisseurs. Unlike other leading names on the list like Jordan Farmar, Tristan Thompson, and Shandon Anderson, Irving is a ball-dominant guard who can at least dovetail as a number one on a contending team. That's a far cry from the carousel of role players who can mount a claim as one of the winningest players in closeout contests. Closeout games are something Irving has been familiar with since his playing days with the Cleveland Cavaliers when he first made the playoffs in 2015, during LeBron James's second stint with the franchise. Now with Dallas, he is picking up where he left off. With remarkable performances against the Los Angeles Clippers and Thunder, Irving gets to see his streak continue. His ability to deliver in high-stakes situations has cemented his legacy as an all-time great playoff performer, and his clutch performances in closeout games have been pivotal for his team's successes in the postseason.
Kyrie Irving has been a player that has been admired by everybody for his talent level his entire career. I think there's a whole nother level to this now with Kyrie Irving.
Irving isn't the most prolific winner in league history, but unlike a great many of his adversaries, Irving is perfect when the lights have been at their brightest. He doesn't shirk the spotlight either. Whether in Cleveland, Boston, Brooklyn, or Dallas, Irving has tended to paint masterpieces when postseason advancement is on the line. Among all of the crazy subplots going on during the 2023-24 NBA season, there's one that got lost in the shuffle. We saw a completely drama-free season for Kyrie Irving. For all of Irving's otherworldly talents as a player, they've frequently been overshadowed by his off-court antics over the last few years. There's no need to rehash what's happened in the past because it's all on public record, and for obvious reasons, that's a rabbit hole that's not worth going down. The point is, ever since he landed in Dallas, Irving has been a good soldier. You don't even have to include a "for the most part" at the end of that sentence. Many scoffed when the Mavericks gave Irving a 3-year, $120 million contract after his chaotic tenures with both the Boston Celtics and Brooklyn Nets. However, he has let his play do the talking. Though he did not make the All-Star team this season, Irving averaged 25.6 points, 5.2 assists, 5 rebounds, and 1.3 steals per game. He was efficient too, shooting 49.7% from the field, 41.1% from three-point range, and 90.5% from the free throw line, barely missing out on his second appearance in the highly exclusive 50-40-90 club. Had he reached that mark, he would have been the 4th NBA player in history to do so, joining Larry Bird, Steve Nash, and Kevin Durant. It's been 7 years since a team featuring Kyrie Irving did some real damage in the NBA playoffs, so it's become easy to forget that Kyrie was unanimously considered a postseason basketball maestro. He may have one title to his name, but this is the same Kyrie Irving who helped Cleveland break a curse that lasted for decades. The same Kyrie Irving who went toe-to-toe with Stephen Curry when many believed he'd be outmatched. The same Kyrie Irving who hit arguably the biggest shot in NBA Finals history. The point is, knowing Dallas's latest success and how Irving has previously thrived in the postseason playing next to a heliocentric basketball titan, the 2024 NBA playoffs could serve as another reminder of how potent the 32-year-old star can be when he is in his comfort zone on the biggest stage.
Timberwolves team with a nice chant.
You know, they only had 42 wins last year. They had 56 this year.
This season, Kyrie Irving and Luka Doncic formed a remarkable duo for the Dallas Mavericks, displaying exceptional chemistry and performance. This duo bagged 30-plus points in the same game for the 3rd time in their first playoff run as teammates. They are the second duo to achieve the feat. Doncic and Irving's isolation scoring ability from all 3 levels makes them one of the most versatile backcourt pairings. That's allowed them to dominate a defensive unit like the Timberwolves, which has significant depth on the perimeter and the interior. They're also efficient playmakers, which allows them to take turns and impact games in a team system. Irving deserves some credit for it as he also plays more off-ball, which allows his partnership with Doncic to be more effective. In Luka Doncic, Irving is yet again the Robin to a player whose style is similar to LeBron's when the two of them shared the floor in Cleveland. Doncic's abilities as a scorer and playmaker yet again give Irving the room to operate without feeling like he's taking shots away from Doncic in the slightest. Much like LeBron, it feels like they make the other's life so much easier.
I gotta give Luka and Kyrie some credit. They actually look like they're trying to play defense now. and as the two best players and the leaders on this team.
When the Dallas Mavericks traded for Kyrie Irving in February 2023, the move was met with many raised eyebrows from critics and fans alike. Irving had just unceremoniously exited from the Brooklyn Nets amid their most successful season, concluding a confusing and disappointing era next to Kevin Durant in New York. This had wrapped up a 6-year stretch where Irving played in 0 conference finals games, missed several playoff runs with injury, and had some of the weirdest off-court moments in recent memory. Needless to say, people wondered whether he would ever contribute to winning again, or just float into retirement as one of basketball's most spectacular what-ifs. Perhaps more importantly, no one knew whether a pairing of 2 ball-dominant isolation-scoring guards would be conducive to playoff success. There were concerns about each player's role, how they would defend, and whether Luka Doncic could get the best out of Irving. After a year of enduring criticism about the Dallas Mavericks star duo, Luka Doncic and Kyrie Irving are proving everyone wrong. Despite initial skepticism about their compatibility, the pair demonstrated that a scoring guard duo could indeed lead a team to success, silencing critics throughout the season. Kyrie Irving and Luka Doncic are considered the LeBron-Kyrie duo 2.0. NBA fans just crowned them as one of the best in the NBA all-time. Irving is one of the very best players in the league in spot-up situations, both as a shooter and a close-out attacker. It's unsurprising that he is elite at attacking closeouts, considering his incredible handle, quickness, and footwork that already serves him so well in more difficult isolation situations. Although fans don't always think of Irving as a dead-eye shooter because of all the flashy scoring tools he uses, he is also one of the NBA's best marksmen, making him an even better off-ball player. The 8-time All-Star has been remarkably accurate from three-point land, shooting just under 40% for his career, which ranks 12th for active players in that time span. When given great looks, consistently playing with legends like James, Durant, and Doncic, he can torch a defense from long distance just like any other sharpshooter. One of the best aspects of Irving's arrival in Dallas has been unlocking other parts of Doncic's game that he was too exhausted to focus on in the past. Over the first 5 seasons of his career, the Slovenian superstar made an extremely poor effort defensively because of the heavy burden he was carrying to lift his team on his own offensively. With Irving's presence on the floor alongside Doncic, he can delegate much of that burden to his co-star, which has allowed him to dedicate more energy to the defensive end of the floor. Shockingly, Doncic has now become more than a competent defender, and the rest of the Mavericks have followed suit. Irving himself is playing better on that end than ever before, and Dallas is now an elite defense with very few holes. The most influential part of this duo's success has been their incredible performance in the clutch moments. They're simply unstoppable in slow-down half-court environments at the end of games, because they have 2 guys who can get their own shot better than anybody, and opponents aren't able to focus too much attention on either player. Their performance revitalized the Mavericks, showcasing the team's immense potential and transforming their outlook for future seasons. Irving has been performing at a high level, contributing significantly to the Mavericks' success in the 2023 to 2024 season. His return to the lineup after a brief absence was particularly impactful, showcasing his resilience and dedication. Now, it's clear to see that Kyrie Irving's time with the Dallas Mavericks has defied much of the initial skepticism, proving to be a valuable asset to the team both in the regular season and the playoffs. Like and subscribe if you like this video.